What's going on, guys? My name is Cody and I'm a reseller here in Alabama, and what that means is I go to places like garage sales and yard sales, Amazon overstock stores, and buy items to flip for a profit online. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about how my eBay sales have been going and one of the worst returns that I've gotten so far. So to start it off, it's getting to be summertime here. I think today is May 22nd, and I've been a reseller now for a while, selling on eBay, but I've not been full time until about this past September when I quit my job. So sales were great. I got into it full time at a great time, which was going into Q4. Sales were booming, so it was really good time to really get into reselling. I say that it was actually maybe a bad time because you see how well you can do, and then once you hit kind of this summertime, things start slowing down. So it can get really discouraging for some people. But right now, my sales have slacked off a little bit. I normally keep around a $20,000 90-day total in sales, and I hit almost 22,000 I think around December or January, and they've dropped right now to about 19.3 I think the last time I looked. So sales are definitely kind of declining, but it's understandable. It's summertime, people are getting out, they're doing things, they're not on their computer as much, buying and browsing. So that's to be expected, especially with things now opening back up, which is great. But pretty much what I'm doing right now, I'm not really doing anything different. I'm continuing to source, and the problem I've had before was I would list things, and I'm trying to hit a certain number of listings, and it was hard because I would do 10 listings and feel pretty good, and then I would sell 5 or 6, which is great for sales, but I just never could get the my total listing number of listings up. So I've not really changed anything. I'm continuing to source, continuing to list from my death pile, and I'm hoping that maybe that will allow me to build my listings up. And I've heard other resellers say that this lasts from generally around June to around September-ish, and then when you start going to Q4, sales start picking up again. So, like I said, I've not really changed anything. I'm going to try to continue to source good items. I'm not trying to source just any kind of item, though. I am trying to source better items. What I consider a better item is something that I can profit 25 to 30 at a minimum. Sometimes a little less if it's a very small, easy to ship, easy to list item. I don't mind making a little less on it as long as it's easy and it's a fast seller. But anything that I'm going to make less than $20 to $25 on, and I'm going to have to sit on it, I try to stay away from that. So if you're getting into reselling, just know right now that now is going to be a kind of a slow time, and I hope there will be other people on here that say, hey, I'm not seeing any slowdown. And if you're not, that's great. Good for you. But I think for a lot of us, a lot of the other people I'm watching, a lot of resellers, they're experiencing a slowdown right now as well. So if you're not, good. That's great. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about was one of the worst returns that I've had, and by worst I mean monetary. The biggest loss, which it's not necessarily a loss. It just wasn't. It didn't result in a profit. It was this AMD Ryzen 5 computer processor. I picked this up at one of our Amazon overstock stores. I paid $5 for this, and I got home, immediately listed it. I took it apart, or took it out of the box, looked over everything, and I listed it. I sold it that night for $200, free shipping. I have sold this exact one once before, for like $219, $215, something like that. So I thought this was going to be awesome. It's going to be a great quick seller. I was right. It sold that night. Fast forward about 10 days later, I got a message on eBay from the buyer saying that the processor had some bent pins. And if you're familiar with these processors, the processor is about this big, and the pins on the backside are extremely small. So I did look at the processor. I looked at the back of it. But being that the pins are so small, I really didn't look that close at it. I just assumed that it was the wrong processor, it was sent back, and nothing was wrong. So he did send me pictures of it, and I did accept the return. And once he sent it back to me, I looked over everything again, and without looking extremely close, you can't tell, but there's actually 3 or 4 little pins in the corner that are actually completely missing, and then a few are just barely bent. So I don't know if someone tried to install this previously and then maybe broke it and then sent it back. I'm not sure, but I did have to refund him $200, so that kind of hurt. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and I think that's a very important thing. That's why I wanted to cover it, because a lot of resellers show, you know, that they found $400, $500, $600 items and they're selling, and that's great. We've all done it. We feel like we've hit huge home runs, but not everyone touches on, you know, that they get a return on some items, especially this big. It doesn't hurt as bad if it's a $20, $30 item, even $40 or $50, but $200, that really kind of stung. But I just wanted to touch on that, guys, and you know, talk a little bit about how sales are kind of slowing down. And for me, I'm not gonna let up. I'm actually gonna try to source harder, smarter, and get some items listed. And hopefully by Q4 we'll be stocked up, ready to go, and we won't be looking or, you know, searching for items when Q4 gets here. Hopefully we'll have them. They'll be listed and ready to go. But guys, if you've enjoyed this or got any information out of it at all, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a ton. Thanks a lot.